Morning, guys. Well, it's actually is morning. It's Friday morning. Welcome to Pro Row 784. Listen, today's a shot video today, and we're getting things prepared Friday morning, and we are going to be trying to head out of here around noontime, but it doesn't look like that's going to happen as things is already falling apart. Kyla's pretty much got her ATV ready. I think everything's done on that thing. Brandon will be riding the YFZ 450, and he did pull the radiator out last night and wash and clean it when he was out at practice the other day. Had the heat lamp come on, so wanted to take that out. So he's got all that put back together. Got to service the air filter, service the oil, and then we just got the maintainer on there. So anyway, so this is my deal this morning. So the other day, whenever I was practicing, I heard a little noise right there toward the end of practice, and I thought maybe it was a belt or something got in the CVT cover or something like that. I don't know. It just sounded really weird. Still ran the drive and drove very good, but anyway, we found our problem this morning, and so I didn't think it was going to be that big a deal, but it turns out it's a pretty major deal. So I have lubed it and got all the Zerk fittings done. I ended up having to put a new battery cover here on there. The other one broke right here, and so my latch wasn't latching on there very good, so I was having to tape it, and it would still move around. So I ended up buying a new one of those, got one of those. So anyway, let me explain to you what's happened here. So we run in our CVT here, we run the stock Renegade primary, which is what this is. Now this thing's making a little bit of racket too. It's got some slack in it, so we're probably going to have to change that also. But the major problem is this is the Maverick secondary that we get from our friends over at B&R, and from what I understand, Robert actually builds these things. So he takes parts from the Maverick and I guess the Renegade also, and meshes them together, and he builds these things somehow or another. So if you guys are interested in what Brandon's running here, or either, you know, obviously I'm gonna ride this one for the next 3 races. This is what we run here. So but this one's got quite a few hours on it, and the difference in it's got rollers in here instead of a helix thing in the back. So this dissipates, or it's got less heat essentially. Okay, so what makes your belt last longer? And then obviously we run the Maverick belt also here. But as you can see, I don't know if you're going. I'm getting ready to pull this off, but I got rollers broken there. There's a roller there, and then 180 degrees. There's another roller, and it's just a little slider, little roller. This one's completely missing. Okay, so. And this is the helix here, but on the stock one, the helix is in the back. This one's in the front here. But it's got rollers that allow this thing to cool and just run a lot cooler, which is what saves your belt. But there's still a little piece in there, half of one there. So anyway, so it turns out my noise was those little rollers coming apart. And there's little sliders or whatever the hell they're called there. And what it was doing, it was just spitting them around inside the CVT cover, which was making a hell of a racket. So I did text Robert this morning, and he did say that they're rebuildable, obviously. So I will be removing this and sending this to Robert, okay, at B&R Motorsports. So the unfortunate thing is you know, there's a race tomorrow, and I was really wanting to try to go race. So I'm waiting on Brandon to show up here now to help me make some decisions. We do have there's another quad in there, Brandon, that we have that's got the STM clutches on it. Brandon's not a big fan of those as of right now, and so we were going to be removing those and putting the stock primary Maverick secondary from B&R on there. You know, for the race bike, probably the first several rounds of racing, just because we're a little bit behind on the build and that kind of stuff for his new 23 Renegade. So I'm gonna see if he would help me make the decision. Did we pull those clutches off and maybe put them on this one just so I could go race, or do I just miss and send this stuff to Robert and let him work his magic and send it back, and I'll do the next 2 races instead of 3 races. So that's one thing I want to get with Brandon and see what he wants to do, and go from there. So sort of where we're at. Pretty much everything else is, I mean, I think we're got the motorhome up there. My wife's got it loaded up, and I was looking forward to a good time tonight, just going and hanging out, and obviously racing tomorrow. So don't know yet. So you guys stay tuned. I'll follow up here. Brandon should be getting here in a minute, and then we'll make our decision here of what we're going to do here. But in the meantime, I'm gonna go ahead and get this secondary off here so we can look at it. All right, so we got Brandon coming here, so I'm getting ready to show him what I just showed you guys. So I did get I got the secondary off. So Brandon, you remember come over here and getting, so we're not in the sunlight. So you remember the other day we kept hearing noises and such in the CVT area, and we thought maybe it was a belt coming apart and all that stuff. Well, it turns out it's not a belt. Look here. So here's a piece of it. See the little rollers missing? Yep. So it's pretty much ruined. And this is the this is one part that I found in there. So the other night, whenever I unloaded off the trailer, I heard something clanging around. Well, what it was is the clutch was picking that up and slinging it around, you know what I mean? So anyway, I did get a hold of Robert at B&R this morning, and he said that is rebuildable. He's got to look and see if he's got the parts. But anyway, I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna send that to him up at B&R and just let him rebuild it. Yeah. He's supposed to be getting the parts and pieces for our other ones next week also. So anyway, I'm just gonna let him rebuild it. So I've got to figure out what I'm gonna do. Pretty much done with this thing here. I've changed the oil in it. I've got it all lubed up, and then obviously I got the CVT cover. So
have stock ones?
I don't know where they're at, so I don't know. If you think we do, then we'll go there and try to dig them up. So let's go there and see if we can find them. All right, so we decided, I think we're going to go ahead and take the STM secondary out of this. I was going to remove the primary, but unfortunately, I don't have a puller for this here. I've got several. I went to the golf cart shop, and I thought I maybe had one up there, but I don't have a puller for this. So I think what we're going to attempt to do is we're going to pull the STM secondary out of that, put on here, just so I could race this weekend. You know what I mean? So we did find a stock one here. This is a stock secondary for a Renegade, but I don't have the helix. You know, remember I told you guys there's a big helix that goes in here? I don't have that. I don't know where that's at. I just don't have that. So this is the one. Obviously this is a Maverick, so this gives you a good idea of what they look like, you know, side by side. The one on the right here is a stock Renegade. The one on the left there, that's a Maverick, but you can see the difference in the way that that it operates and slides. This helix is on the front side with sliders in it. This one is on the back side, and all it does is it just turns in there on the big helix there. So there's a huge difference in the way these things operate. And then also you can see the fins are angled here, where the fins are straight here. So this one's going to create more suction and wind, you know, pulling it through the CVT cover. So all right, so let me get this here off here, and let's see what we can do here. All right, so I got the STM off of the 1000 there, and I put it on the 850 here, and I went out there and just drove it. Had to be real careful and just put my feet here. I don't know. It's certainly not tuned for the 850 and with a stock primary, but this primary, I told Brandon too, I probably want to replace it also, because it's making a lot of noise, and there's some fingers in there that are just wobbling around quite a bit. And how many hours did you say this quad had on it, Brandon? 91?
94.
I think 94 he just checked for me. So this thing's been on there since then. So and most of its life it's been raced. So I'm probably going to go ahead and just replace this one also with a stock one, and then we'll you know, we got the one that I'll get that one repaired at Robert at B&R and pull this back off here. But I don't know. I had just ridden it through the yard, so I guess we'll see. It launches okay and everything, but I won't really know anything until we go race it. But But anyway, all right, got to put that back together, put all this stuff on, get the air filter in there, and other than that, I had to tighten up a couple bolts on the skid plates, get that done. And then Brandon, what all did you, so you changed the oil on the YFZ this morning?
Yeah, changed the oil of the chain. Still got to tighten the chain. Air filter. Subframe was a little loose. Just nothing bolted.
Just little everything. Stuff. Yeah. So it's about ready to roll.
Yep.
Okay. All right. So let me get over here. I'm gonna go ahead and get the CVT cover on there and see if we can get ready to go. All right. So we're all done with the Can-Am Renegade here. Got the clutch put all on there. Put the air filter in. Got the seat on there. Now the seat stays put. Doesn't move around on me. I had to replace that piece there. And got the wheel covers on there. I think I'm ready to go. So pretty much ready to go ride. Brandon has got his quad pretty much done. Golly, that glare. But anyway, Brandon's got the YFZ fixed there, ready to go. This is Kyla's four-wheeler here. He's just adjusting the clutch and doing some stuff to it here. So all right, so I think all right, Brandon, so we're going to close out the video, and we'll see these guys up there tomorrow.
Yep.
Right. So as always, guys, we appreciate you guys watching our videos, and not really spectacular things happening today, but anyway, we'll get up there in the morning, and we're actually going to try to leave this afternoon, but we're going to get there in the morning and get these things unloaded and get them ready to go. So we appreciate you guys watching. You guys stay tuned. Brandon's going to have a GoPro on the YFZ tomorrow. I'm going to have another GoPro on the Can-Am Renegade. So I'm not sure if I'll do two videos, not sure if I'll clam them all together. I'm not positive how I'll do that yet. I would say it would depend on how the footage comes out. So Brandon's going to have a large row. We're here, upwards of maybe a 20 guys on the front row. A lot of GNCC pros are here testing and tuning, and we've actually been riding with a few of those. And they're going to, we hear there's a bunch of them coming. So we're very excited about that. And then, we'll do the best we can and get ready to go ride out. So, hey, appreciate you guys watching. You guys stay tuned. And until next time, we'll see y'all.